Hey there, hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Snowrunner Which is the Best Heavy Hauler video where we will explore which of these 9 trucks is the best at hauling these trailers. We have the fuel tanker trailer, the construction semi-trailer and the oil tank semi-trailer. I've tabulated and graphed the results for having a look at after the trucking clip, so we'll get to that soon. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting with the Azov 5319. So what you can see are the 3 trailers simultaneously being towed and a speed increase of 2 to 3 times, or else we would be here for 30 minutes just watching the truck clips along. So the Azov 5319 is very fast on harder terrain, but add in some water and a biggish trailer and it kind of falls flat, which results in it being the slowest out of all 9 trucks and having by far the worst fuel consumption. The Azov 64131 is a thoroughbred hauler. If time isn't an issue, then by all means just use this truck, as you'll be hard pressed to have this truck run out of fuel at any point. This is a personal favourite of mine. The Azov 7 is a bit like Marmite, and people either love it or hate it, mostly due to its ride height coupled with its front bumper, although it is very powerful and has a lot of utility. By far not the fastest and not the slowest, and in sort of the middle for fuel consumption. The Dan 96320 is pretty unique given its massive length, although performance-wise it wasn't great, fuel was okay, and it's just a bit cumbersome overhaul with the cab over in front of the front wheels. It's not good for small spaces. The Derry Longhorn 4520 was a bit of a curveball, as it struggled with the more trivial tasks when you're just playing the game, but here it did pretty well. One huge upside to the truck is its tiny turning circle, which meant navigating the area with the larger trailers was a bit easier. And it actually had the joint quickest time with the fuel tanker trailer, and does have decent fuel consumption given its 400 litre fuel capacity. Kolob 7476R, as expected, crushed these tests with little issue, really, when it comes down to speed, and it was only bested by one truck for fuel consumption. There's nothing more that can be said about it, really. The Kolob 74941 actually had the same overall time as the Kolob 7476R that we've just seen, only failing slightly on fuel consumption, so still an excellent pick. Pacific P12 for time performed much better than I'd expected, placing in the middle of the field pretty much. Although similar to the Dan, the truck's length and nose can be an issue in small spaces. Finally, the P16, which has always been known as a good hauler, is a solid truck with some, if not the best tyres in the game, good speed and very good fuel consumption. Now that we've seen the clips, let's take a look at the results. So, at the far right of this big table, you can see the rankings for time and fuel consumption based on addition and averages respectively, with lower numerical rankings being superior. Next to the ranking columns are the fuel averages and time totals, and as you can see, there are some huge differences between the quickest and the slowest at 5 minutes 37 compared to 8 minutes 29, and the same for the average fuel. So you've got between 7.81% and 21.33% fuel use across all three tests. So I've also graphed the results based on the time and fuel rankings. The green bottom left area is the best, and the top right in red is sort of the do not bother area. So there are 4 distinct areas on the graph where trucks are placed. So we'll start in the red, where we have the Azov 5319, which is slowish through the mud, especially with the biggest trailer, and its 200 litre fuel tank is really not even appropriate for shorter journeys. Moving into the yellow region, we have everything from the Pacific P12 to the Dan. A lot of the stats here are reversible to each other, actually, especially between the P12 and the Dan, so it's really a case of picking whichever one you want there. On the border between the yellow and the red is one truck with a time ranking of 8 but a fuel rank of 1, and that is the Azov 64131. It's a very unique result, and it's a very good truck as mentioned earlier, so if time isn't an issue, use this. It will definitely get you where you need to go and won't run out of fuel. It'll just take you a little bit more time. Finally, in the green area, there are 3 trucks that I've directly compared before in the video seen in the top right, and this is where the Pacific P16 came out on top, but given recent updates which added active suspension to both Kolobs, it means that the Kolobs now beat the P16 as the best heavy haulers, with specifically the Kolob 74760 rated as number 1, losing out only to the Azov 6 in fuel consumption. So I hope this video has been informative and enjoyable, and I thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking the video and subscribing for more content like this, as it massively helps out the channel with the future growth, and have a great day.